I'm in Calgary right now attending a retreat being led by the Reverend Mark Tremblay, and we thought we'd just have a little walk and a chat about things in general and whatever comes to mind for Mark. So you were just talking about the spiritual practices you do on you wake up like 6 in the morning
I'm
for
up at
these?
6 a.m. every morning, yeah. Yeah. So
Too
I get
early
a
for
good
me.
hour and a half of alone time to do whatever I want. And usually it's some kind of reading. So reading specific things related to spirituality, deeper theology, if you will. One of the things I've learned from my reading of Ludwig Wittgenstein particularly is that the way we live forms how we think.
Okay.
And if we want to think differently, which means even think about theology differently, then maybe we have to live differently in order to do that.
Oh, so live differently how? What's one change for you?
Well, getting up at 6 a.m. and reading.
Oh no, I don't like that.
Well, but practice is also a discipline, right?
True.
So it's getting into a regular discipline of thinking about things or doing things in a different way.
Yeah.
So, for example, we talk about people who are stuck in addictions, and the fact if they want to undo those addictive behaviors and be able to be sober, whatever that means for them, they have to find a new community.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They have to
yeah,
find
yeah.
new people. They have to find new ways of living that don't have the same triggers or contexts that force them or enable them to live the way they don't want to live anymore.
Oh. I do see that in practice. Like people will need to separate
Yeah.
themselves from the community, join AAs, other create new
Yeah.
community.
And we also find a similar thinking in Paul. He says, why do I do the things I don't want to do? Why am I in this prison?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I keep doing the things that I know I don't want to do, he says, I call that sin. So the release of sin is stopping doing not just those practices, but living in such a way that the possibility of those practices don't arise.
Oh, okay. We talk about being being saved from sin
Yeah,
and delivered and freed, and we use that sort of language, and we make it very spiritualized.
yeah,
But there's a practical, physical side of that. You are being called to a new community, a
yeah,
new group. You're being literally, physically broken away from
yeah,
habits that have been destructive.
correct.
Right?
Well, yeah, that's a tame rabbit that's been released,
You're
right?
not supposed to be out here. I don't see you in Edmonton.
My
Yeah.
preference is a definition of spirituality that was written by an interfaith coalition in Washington. And it's that our spirituality, is a function of four relationships:
Mhm.
our relationship with ourself, our relationship with our environment, our relationship with our community, and our relationship with God or the divine,
Mhm.
whatever we see that as.
Mm. I like that those four things, like God is one of the four things, that there are other things we can be connecting with. And some people will like, think of spirituality as just the God bit.
Right,
And that can be so inaccessible.
totally.
But if you understand, well, no, it's these other things too, and you work on those things, I think it helps you will connect with the God thing as well.
Exactly. And if we take our incarnational theology seriously, then God is present in all those relationships
Yeah. Yeah.
because we only discover God in relationship.
Yeah.
So there was an interesting book a few years ago called Altar in the World. She encouraged people to get out on walks and
Mm-hmm.
find meaningful and sacred places
Mm-hmm.
in their own personal lives on their walks.
Yeah.
Our Bible teaches us it's all sacred.
Yeah. Yeah.
So our community of practice is the people we meet, the people we live with, and happens more than what actually we do on Sunday morning.